Welcome back to Bloomberg Markets. We mentioned earlier in the program, we saw some signs of a cooling Canadian economy in the latest GDP data. But there is also the question of Canada's economy over the longer term. How does Canadian business stay competitive? TMX CEO John McKenzie has often joined us to talk about that very issue, and he's back with us now here on Bloomberg Markets. I guess I'll start with the economy itself. Does it surprise you to see a bit of a contraction in the GDP data in June?
Not really, because I think anyone in our industry and the industry around, it feels slower. And I don't mean that anecdotally that much, but there's less activity going on. We see it less in terms of financing and deal making, the things around the market. So it doesn't surprise me to see that slowdown. And the question is it a trend or is it a pause before we see a pickup in the fall?
Yeah, and obviously these interest rates are taking hold as well. But then there's this broader question around where the economy goes over the next 5 years or the next 10 years at a time when there's a lot of technology that many people say is transformational. And I wonder how you think about what Canada should be prioritizing at a time like this.
I mean, the two sectors where we can really win on, one of them, as you said, is technology. And we've got fundamentally great ecosystems across the country to build technology and technology businesses around it. And again, if we've got that market confidence that we can fund them, there's no reason that Canada cannot be a global leader there. And our ability to do startup and scale up businesses is top of the world. But the other sector we can't lose sight of is our resource sector. This is a strength for the Canadian marketplaces, not just in the energy sector, but in the mineral sector, the critical mineral sector. We're a marketplace that finances half of the global mining exploration. And so that's something for us to lean in on, particularly around economic transition, long-term moving to more sustainable energy, electronic transportation. We're going to need those critical minerals, and Canada should be the market to actually provide them to the world. But we got to get a lot better on de-risking that. We got to get better on permitting and creating certainty so we can fund it.
So how does that play? Because you've got a whole team in place that's helping a lot of companies go public. Could more be done, though, let's say, in Ottawa, to help that process of bringing these companies along to the public markets?
Absolutely. So I think Ottawa is doing some great things, and some of the things they're doing around the funds and the initiatives to start tackling the critical minerals market. But we have to solve for the regulatory and the permitting side. Canada is known globally to be very slow to permit, and that'll drive companies to stay on the sideline, or where they're going to choose to invest. They're going to choose where they have more certainty that they can actually get things approved and moving. So that's an area from an Ottawa standpoint, from a province standpoint, we've got to get better at, so that companies can invest with confidence and take advantage of really what is a once-in-a-generational transformation opportunity.
We talked earlier in the program about bringing the TMX or TSX trading opportunity to foreign players. You're also a company that's trying to attract foreign companies to actually list in Canada. What feedback do you get about the perception of Canada when you're going through that process?
That feedback's actually really good, because we're actually number 3 in the world for listing international companies. And our market, the whole ecosystem we built, which is not just us, it's the bankers, it's the lawyers, it's the regulators, have done a really good job of creating an ecosystem that's great for financing small cap and early stage companies, be they resources or technology or otherwise, in a way that doesn't get done in other countries in the world. So we can talk to a technology company in California and show them a public capital raising option in Canada that they don't have at home. Same thing in Australia to talk to a mining company. So it's an advantage for Canada that we need to promote more broadly, and we can be an engine for financing around the world.
But to your earlier point about some issues as simple as permitting, does some of that also play into the story of what it's like once you're coming here to list your business here? To a certain extent, you are investing in Canada, even if it's just in a listing process.
Yeah, I can see that as an overhang, but I think that you actually can separate them out, the ability to finance business versus actually starting business here. And we do think we keep actually advocating for other changes that governments can do to incent and grease the wheels for more to get done. And we'll keep doing that. Ideas around tax reform and other regulatory reform, again, to make it easier for companies to raise money, be public, and expand the operations they do here. So we're going to keep doing that.
Okay. John, good to see you.